Hi there, my name is Muse, and I'm making this video to share a little bit about my work, which is alchemy. What can we do on a day-to-day basis, and how can we create treatments that unlock our fullest potential, help us align with our purpose, and discern right action in everyday life? So in my one-on-one work, I'm looking at how can we use touch as a catalyst to inhabit our bodies more fully and tap into the consciousness that resides in our organ systems. I spent a lot of years studying what I called then women's health. I work with how to balance anything that is not fully at ease or flowing or harmonious in our cycles, in our monthly expressions of hormone phases that we go through. And over the course of time, I came to understand that our organs hold keys. Our organ systems hold instructions for our life path. And this is something that I was able to get some context for once I started studying Chinese medicine, because our original channel system, the original wiring of how our life force flows, creates a deep central axis through our body. This channel is called the Changmai. It's formed when we are in utero. And it is said in the ancient texts of Chinese medicine that this is what allows humanity to be the bridge between heaven and earth. And these texts say that at conception, we receive a mandate from the heavens, as it said, as to who we are and who we are to be in this life. This information is seated in the organ of the heart. And the kidney systems govern the generative systems, the generative organs, and house our life force. And it is said that the kidney system, which I collectively call the root because it's everything down below, the kidney system governs and houses our will, our capacity to do the work day to day, to carry out what that destiny is, that is our life curriculum seated in the heart. So this means that our physiology literally is coded with all of the tools we need for our evolution and growth. So I still work with very practical issues every day, helping people align cycles and come into greater inhabitance in their body, resolve trauma, and find ease wherever there is not ease. And I am most interested in these deeper soul level inquiries. How can we do work that helps us be more ourselves, who we're here to be? So I do what I usually call an encounter evening called Alchemy for the Root, where we practice tuning in to this deep central channel, this deep axis of how our life force moves in our being, as a way to use our body as an oracle, so we can sense into what is right or not right for us in any kind of decision making we are taking. Now, often, almost always, we have some emotional material that's accumulated along the Changmai that inhibits our ability to feel fully like we can connect with our deep resources, with our purpose, with our generative force, our will of the kidney system, of the root. And we now have a lot of research and information about how trauma impacts the nervous system, how unresolved emotional material inhibits the Changmai is the same thing. And actually, if you look at how we develop in utero, the very early cell division, you can see cells growing and dividing and growing and dividing until there's a kind of long division that happens. And in this space, the nervous system forms. So the Changmai, the very first channel system that forms, holds our blueprint. It is this central channel. It is the space in which the nervous system forms. It is the nervous system. It is the space that the nervous system grows into to inhabit. So what I'm studying in my work is the unwinding of emotional material from this deep central axis, from the nervous system. And just like we now can see there are common patterns in how trauma impacts the nervous system, we can also look at how there are common patterns in that unraveling, in that unwinding. And just like when animals experience a big shock and they shake, our nervous system can shake off that material. So in my work over the years, I went from very logistical troubleshooting of women's health issues to slowly starting to work in sessions in ways that no one had taught me, and just following the map of the body. And I didn't realize it at the time, but I was starting to learn how to listen at a deeper level to what's happening in the nervous system, what's happening in the Chongmai in treatments, and letting that force, letting the intrinsic wholeness of each person, of the unique unfolding of each person into their destiny to guide the force of the treatment. And this is how my work now is very catalytic. I see people often just a few times a year, and we're able to do very profound work that helps us catapult into the next level. Helps me too, because I am also making this soul inquiry, listening to my original channel system in working with my person. So I said a little bit about the Alchemy for the Root practice sessions, where we're doing hands-on exercises and using our touch and using our breath to reconnect with this original pathway so that we have access to all our own resources anytime we need it, and just expand our toolkit for how to self-regulate and help ourselves when we're going through something that's difficult. Then also this year, I'm very focused on continuing to offer a course called Touches Medicine. I started offering this course in 2015, and it has always had some basic elements, but it is a body of information that's very alive and continuing to evolve all the time. So the basic elements are that it's a course for hands-on practitioners to broaden, again, our tool set of how we can create catalytic treatments, how we can open a space in treatment that allows this soul level kind of development to take place. And we look specifically at how to track nervous system response and how to follow the nervous system as a guide in the treatment. And there's a lot of talk in healing arts of being a channel. This course is studying very definitively what exactly are we channeling and how? How does it play out in real time? What are the effects? And how do we create a very solid and stable container for profound change to take place? So as we are more aligned and residing upon the Chongmai, it allows us to be the bridge, as I said, between heaven and earth, which as practitioners, that's the channel. We can allow the heavens themselves to move in the space of the treatment, allow the force of the earth to move us. And this course can take various forms depending on the unique group of participants. When there are people who have already done a fair amount of hands-on work directly with the generative systems, with the organs of the pelvis, we work with refining those tools and working with them from an alchemical standpoint. So as practitioners, we're often trained in looking, finding, defining, and often fixing. And this is a completely different approach where we don't know. We are courting the divine mysteries of life as they move in the body and in the course of a person's life. And we're in service to something that is not definable in this space. And so we spend a lot of time looking at what that actually can be like. And I mentioned creating a very stable and solid container for this kind of work to take place. We look at very specific aspects of how to apply the techniques that we have been trained in, and then also really step back and let the force of medicine itself that is asking to evolve humanity to work in the space of the treatment. And we look at very practical pieces of our practice, how we work with money and structure time and the actual space of the treatment room, as again, tools that help us create this kind of a rapport with the person's system so that we can do the most profound work possible. Because goodness gracious, we're here in a very intense time, and we're here to evolve into what we're here for. So let's do it, right? Let's see what else. Okay, so for people who are in the course who have not done direct hands-on work with the pelvic systems, with the generative systems, it's an opportunity to start working in that direction, to receive that kind of work for your own body. And we always are working with how to work with ourselves first, how to do this work with our bodies as our foundation. Okay, I'm very excited to be coming to the States next week, and I really look forward to connecting with many of you. There's courses being organized now in Chapel Hill and Asheville for this spring, and we'll see about the fall for my next trip. Sending a really big hug from Brazil.